Back in 2016, a little anime came out called Konosuba. I only watched a couple of episodes and forgot about it. Maybe I was preoccupied with My Hero Academia at the time. It's about this guy called Kazuma who ends up dying and then is reincarnated into an alternate world where he teams up with three degenerate ladies to complete quests and eventually fight the Demon King. I ended up marathoning season 1 yesterday, and it's pretty funny. One of the episodes really stood out to me. I feel like that episode can teach a lot of us out there an important principle about relationships. I'm seeing far too many guys neglecting this principle, which is causing them a lot of unnecessary stress. It's the episode where we're introduced to Kyouya. At first glance, Kyouya looks like a total badass. He's in the middle of a battle with this massive dragon, surrounded by all of this fire. Straight off the bat, he explains that he was reincarnated by a beautiful goddess that gave him a legendary sword to become the hero of this new world. He promised the goddess, who we all know as Aqua, that he would slay the Devil King and save the world for her. This introduction finishes with him using his sword to one-shot that dragon. He looked like a total Chad. From his backstory to his massive sword and snazzy armor, Kyouya is the complete opposite of Kazuma. Heck, just looking at the two, it's like a before and after of the solo leveling glow up challenge. After defeating the ancient dragon, Kyouya rose up into town where he hears a familiar sound.
I know that voice. Could it be?
That goddess he was pining for, Aqua, is being dragged around in a cage. Kyouya is vexed when he sees this. He goes from Chad in shining armor to simp in white armor as he rushes to save the day. He takes a stand by going star platinum on us by breaking this cage with his bare hands. After freeing his lady, he gives us this speech about how a goddess shouldn't be in a cage, but none of this matters. Aqua makes her way out of the cage and she doesn't remember who Kyouya is.
Who are you?
It's me, milady! Kyouya Mitsurugi!
Look at him leaning forward with his sword like that. Have some respect for yourself. This shit is embarrassing. He gestures towards the magical sword that she gave him, hoping that she will remember him. Aqua starts politicking, claiming that she remembers him and making excuses that she helped so many people cross over to this world, and after all of that, she's bound to forget a few of them. Man's out here like Kazuma thinking, how did laughing at my death help me? Anyways, Kyouya shifts his attention to Kazuma as he starts to interrogate him about why his lady was in a cage. This only makes things worse as Kyouya finds out that his goddess is sleeping in the stables. Darkness and Megumin back Kazuma as Kyouya is starting to get really aggressive. Since manhandling Kazuma doesn't work, Kyouya starts tricking by offering the girls money to join his team.
Look, ladies, I'm a swordmaster, and I'd love to have you in my party. I'll treat you well and I'll buy you the best gear.
Once they start to decline his offer, the only move left is to challenge Kazuma to a duel. Kazuma quickly accepts this challenge and violates the White Knight with a snaky surprise attack. He uses his steel skill and then attacks Kyouya with his own sword. This was brutal. The crew makes it back to the Adventure Guild. Aqua is upset because her quest money is mostly used by fixing the cage Simp Platinum broke. She ends up getting her revenge immediately though. Kyouya comes back only to get punched by Aqua. She even fleeces him out of an extra 100k by lying about the cage repair costs. Yikes. We find out that Kyouya came back to ask Kazuma for his sword. He even bribes Kazuma by saying he's willing to pay for the best sword in town. Too bad, Kazuma ended up selling his sword. After this disgraceful behavior, Kyouya runs off and it's just sad. This guy ends up so down bad that we only ever see him one more time during season 1. And let's just say, he's definitely seen some better days. If you guys can learn anything from this, don't pedestalize someone you barely know anything about. It makes you act irrationally. Aqua even told him back there that she's been happy since Kazuma forced her to be in this world. And he didn't even listen. He just went on about "Milady this" and "Goddess that." It's funny because someone in the crowd says this.
What's up?
Two dudes fighting over some chick.
When in reality, it was just him fighting over her approval. All of this effort just to end up losing his sword, money, dignity, and looking like a loser in front of the two girls that actually gave a fuck about him. Now he's out here digging ditches. Don't be Kyouya. Actually get to know someone before having these grandiose mental images about them. Who knows, just like Kazuma, you might end up finding out that that goddess is actually a bitch. Or she could be like Aries, which would be pretty cool.